Alright, I will be asking for a video and audio check as soon as the game actually restarts. But I do have Mr. Chris Riesenberg with me in the booth tonight, aka Checkers. How you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm pumped. I'm so amped. I've been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah, give me just a second on the video, guys. The game's restarting, so my game's not fully loaded in yet.
They restarted with 41 guys, so that's why it's taking so long.
Alright. I may have timed out.
You have video now. Well, you did.
Yeah. There is a lot of people on the line right now.
If you ever wonder what 41 riders on Anaheim 1 would look like,
I think I
you're
did
witnessing
time out. So give me just a second, guys. Alright, here we go. Alright, so the long-awaited A1, it's here. It's finally here.
Super excited to get racing underway. We'll be doing that here shortly. You had it's only in a couple minutes and we'll have heats built and we'll be rolling. Pretty excited you spent much time on the A1 track?
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. I played it just enough to know kind of what the lines are going to be like and how the racing's going to pan out. But that's about it. I didn't really put too much time into the track.
Pulling qualifying times up.
Yeah, I got them up actually right now. So there was speculation that Hunter Root wasn't going to show up for A1, but it looks like he's going to. He's the top qualifier, and he's the only one under a 1 minute. So your defending champ definitely going to try to, I guess, pick up where he left off last year. So it should be pretty good racing. And then you got Shipley with the second qualifying position at a 1 minute .1. Mr. Fresquez third with a 1 minute .3. Jack Haley, he's always up there in qualifying, and fourth, and he's running a 1 minute .5. And then to round out your top five, actually, is Alexis Leclerc. So it looks like he's back to racing, as long as he shows up tonight. He actually ran a 1 minute .6. So
Leclerc actually was at the EMF race earlier, running up front as well, and the top five guys all separated by under a second. So definitely going to be some really, really close action in that top five group. And then there's guys like Race Carlin, Ryan Mahan, Dennis Fieldberg, and Matt Burkeen rounding out your top 10. And the list all the way down to 16th place goes into the 101 lap times. So really, really tight qualifying. A lot of guys going fast here at A1.
yeah, absolutely. Guys, let me know if Chris's voice is good to go now. I had to turn him up just a little bit. You guys were saying he was kind of quiet. So just give me a thumbs up if it's all good.
Looking down the list, 39th fastest qualifier, two-time Supercross champion Brian Haskell. So he barely squeaks in, and obviously he's one of the best in the game. 103 was the cutoff, and there's a lot of guys with 103s actually not in. So crazy. You guys probably wondering about Kellen Brower. He is qualified 36th fastest with a 103.5, but that's enough to get him in.
Turn up Chris a tad more. All right, I will turn him up just a little bit more.
Then taking a look down at the 250 Supercross West class that'll also be kicking off tonight. Dade Honeywell. They're in the 102s on the 250Fs, or Dade Honeywell and Jeremy Seabolt. Two of the favorites, I would say, for that series. Honeywell should be running the number one, right, Hinners?
Yep, he is the defending West Coast champion, so we should be seeing the number one out of Dade. All right,
And,
it looks like that might have been UID grab right there.
we have
Yeah, it
Victor
looks like.
Nycott was third fastest in the 250 West, and he also ran up front at the MF race earlier, I saw. Cameron Hill and Matt Cromie rounded out your top 5.
I'm going to
in
ride
the
around a
250
little
West.
bit for these guys since we're just waiting on the heat races to get set up. So, I got to ask you something, Chris.
What's up, man?
Where do you think the most crashes are going to happen?
The first set of coffins.
You
Well,
think?
besides the first 3 turns of each race,
Uh-huh.
the first set of whoops for sure.
Okay. See,
The 250 classes maybe a little bit more tripling into the rhythms, and also these guys, they put a lot of time in, so they'll probably get through the whoops pretty good. But during qualifying, I mean, it was definitely chaos through that deep set of whoops.
see, for me, the time that I had put on the track, I saw myself having a little bit more of an issue with the second set of whoops.
Interesting, because they're definitely a lot smaller and a little more forgiving as far as dropping down in, but I can see how you try to go a little faster into them, so
Right.
it makes sense. Wheels posted there's going to be no lineup checks tonight, so just keep that in mind
No
as we're
lineup
going through the
checks.
racing. Except for the main events, there will be lineup checks for those, but we're going to be banging right through these things.
That's what I like to hear. Wheels on top of his game. Alright, that's enough riding around for me. And it looks like we're actually getting a restart, so this should be 450 Heat 1. So just after this restart, we're going to have the official start of the 2016 MotoOption Supercross Series presented by Racetech Suspension. Like I said earlier, a lot of hype coming into the season, as always, so hopefully it doesn't disappoint.
I think there's so many heavy hitters this year that everyone's gotten so fast, and it's kind of allowed some of the top guys to level off. Like they don't have the advantage they used to have. Sure, we'll see
Right.
some new faces in the mix, so I think it definitely won't disappoint.
Yeah. Also with the new licensing system rules, I should say, a few guys getting bumped up to the 450 class that would normally be running the 250s. But it looks like we're set to go racing here for 450 Heat number 1.
Top 4 going to the main.
Top 4 going to the main. Who's your pick? I didn't really get a
I don't
lineup
even
check,
know
but
who's in it. I see Shipley is in it though.
yeah,
And
I'm
the
going to
gate
stay to
is
Brian
down.
Haskell, 2-time Supercross champion. It looks like he's going to squeak around the inside with a great start. You got
Jeremy Smith and Schiabro running 1 and 2.
Yeah, and then Haskell, 3rd. So far, so good. Looks like it's pretty clean.
Oh.
Somebody.
Andrew Wood just put
and there
Stocksy
goes,
down.
there goes the pileup, and it looks like William St. Laurent going down in that first rhythm section as well. Haskell as well. So it looks like 3 Jeremys inside the top 4 right now. It looks like Shipley's trying to get around to A-Wood to make it a podium sweep for the Jeremys.
Andrew Woods
Ooh,
moved
and
into 3rd.
Schiabro just destroyed himself in the second set of whoops, laying on the face of that triple. It looks like people are going to be able to get around him fairly easy, though.
So Andrew Wood running up in 2nd early, right
Ooh.
in front of Jeremy Shipley. These guys battling for that 2 spot. Brady Stanley has moved into the final qualifying spot right now in 4th.
And
Impressive.
We've got
relatively clean first lap.
We've got an OG here in 5th, Stocksy. He's been around for quite some time, so it's nice to see an OG up front like that.
Watch out here. Andrew Wood put Stocksy down on lap number 1 in about the 3rd turn. Now Stocksy's sizing him up, looking for that last transfer spot. Here he goes, diving inside on him.
Ooh. See, this is actually kind of a sticky situation for A-Wood right now because Stocksy actually not from the United States. He's got a bit of a lag bubble to him. So he's got to be careful not to get into A-Wood because you know A-Wood's not going to be too happy if that were to happen.
Right, Mahan went over that berm there. Lost the transfer spot, dropped to 6th, and Ryan Mahan is now battling in 5th, trying to get into a transfer spot.
A-Wood throwing it dirty over the triple. They just, I guess you could say they threw quadsies right there. Very close racing going on back here. It looks like Stocksy gets around Awood. Oh, and there's that leg bubble I was telling you guys about.
Stanley takes advantage, moves into fourth. Awood, Schiabro, and Mahan now over the finish line, all out of transfer spots. At A1, it seems like there's always a heavy hitter that fails to make the main, so getting in out of this heat is a huge weight off the shoulders if you're going for that championship. Jeremy Smith continuing to lead out front right now, logged to 102 lap time.
Oh, and Mahan gets into the back of Awood and actually forms a little bit of a pileup with Schiabro and Heberlein. So Heberlein has made his way up through the pack, it looks like. He was not up here earlier on, so...
Smith coming around into the last turn over the finish line.
And he's got a pretty decent lead as well.
Jeremy Shipley runs solid in the number 2 spot at the moment. Stocksy has made his way to 3rd with Stanley holding down the last transfer in 4th spot right now. Ryan Mahan trying to charge up into a transfer spot right now on the number 37 split fire machine. Guys spread out quite a bit early in this one. A little past the halfway point. These only 6 laps.
All right, so I just want to make a quick note. There was also some speculation that Burkeen was not going to be showing up tonight. But he's here, and he's in ninth place. Yeah, thank you. Then, so Dominic Saulnier is rounding out the top 10. Shaq has fallen back quite a bit here. Jack Haley, top qualifiers, back here. Spinelli's back here. Devin Davis is back here, and then I'm on the gate, of course.
As expected, this top group of guys has kind of figured out this first whoop section a bit. They're all jumping onto the 3rd whoop. They're not even touching the 2nd one, and it's really setting their suspension up, and they're able to get down them pretty easily, it looks like.
Yeah, I kind of want to stay looking at Jeremy Smith here, at least through those whoop sections, to kind of see how he's maneuvering through them. Like you said, they're jumping to the 3rd whoop. But just for the
Smith
viewers'
quads
sake.
Up into a lapper and lays it down a little bit. He does have a comfortable lead. He had about a 6-second lead prior to that.
Yeah, it looks like Shipley almost got into that lapper as well. And it looks like that's Spinelli actually. Oh, and Shipley must have caught his bar or something, because that was a very, very weird fall off for Shipley. So it looks like Stocksy is actually going to overtake 2nd with Shipley right behind him, though. Yeah, they're getting through that first whoop section very, very clean.
So Mahan's moved into the final transfer spot for the moment. He has the gravedigger, Luke Heberlein, his teammate, trying to chase him down for that last transfer. And also Brady Stanley, who just eats it in the whoops. So we were saying they were getting down on pretty easily. Stanley hits the deck. And
yeah, he's going to lose a few spots.
Yeah, loses spots to Schiabro, Burkeen.
Oh, as they throw dualies, getting that on stream.
Burkeen.
Burkeen's getting a little bit aggressive here with Schiabro. Luckily for Schiabro, he actually didn't go down. But as all this action is going on, Smith is actually on lap number 6. That is the last lap of the heat race. As he throws it over the big triple. Nice and easy through that first set of whoops, like you were saying. Let's take a look. Second set of whoops, just as clean.
Oh, Stocksy is down, but also is Heberlein, so Burkeen might have a shot at the last transfer as well. Looks like Heberlein's back going. He has the transfer. So Stocksy crashing himself out of a transfer as Smith's coming around, takes the win of heat number 1.
Jeremy Smith takes the first heat race victory of the year. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more where that one came from as the season kind of pans out here.
Jeremy Shipley coming around for 2nd. Over the line he goes, and there's Ryan Mahan putting his bike into the main event.
As he backflips, and it looks like his teammate Luke Heberlein is actually going to take the last transfer spot of the first heat race of the year. So with one heat race in the books, as the rest of these guys are just finishing up here, it looks like Stocksy misses out, Burkeen just misses out, Schiabro's going to miss out. Stanley was up there early on, he's going to miss out. Dominic Saulnier is going to miss out. And Awood, he was up there in the transfer spot for a majority of this race. He's actually going to finish 10th, so Awood, along with a bunch of other guys such as Haskell, Haley, O'Hagan, Laurent, Tyler Morin, Robert Wilson, Spinelli, Devin Davis, Reed Young, all these guys, they're going to have 2 more chances to try to get into the main event here tonight. Everybody's going to get shuffled into some semis later on in the night. But we still got 3 more heat races to go, 1 more 450 and 2 more 250 heat races. So they get a little bit of a break here. Anyways, as I was going to say before I was going through the finishers, how do you think the track is racing so far with 1 race in the books?
I'm really surprised how spread out everything was, but I guess it is a pretty technical track. Not a lot of carnage, so that's good news. I thought it might be a little bit on the difficult side, though to see these guys navigate it pretty much with ease is good. And there's definitely some quads that these guys are doing, but they're not able to do every single lap, it seems. So that's going to really be a deciding factor in the main event, especially when they start coming into lappers and such.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
whether they can jump the quad or if the lapper jumps it up their inside, stuff like that.
Lappers always play a big role in the main event.
I will be right back, hopefully before this heat race starts.
All right, sounds good. All right, it looks like we're going to be getting a restart here. Not sure if it's going to go straight into heat number 2 or if it's just going to be wheels on the line. All right, it actually looks like we're heading right into heat number 2. So if your favorite rider wasn't in heat 1, they're going to be in heat 2 if they're riding the 450 class. We got some big hitters here: Dennis Fjellberg, Race Carlin, Craig Richards, Alexis Leclerc, Tyson Fresquez, Vanderlee's in here, Berg's in here, Tipperino, Peter Like, Jack Roberts, Kellen Brower, my partner here at SYS, Hunter Root, your defending Supercross champion, Zach Dupuis, Jesse Mullins. So we got a lot of championships in this heat race here. Just waiting for everybody to load in. All right, here we go. So I'm going to go on board with Dennis Fjellberg just because he's on the inside here. It looks like the inside part of the line's going to get they're going to get better starts throughout the night. And it looks like Fjellberg actually goes down on the start straight, so that's not going to be good for him. Hunter Root's going to come out with the whole shot with Dominic Tipperino right behind him. Peter Like, Fresquez is up here, Leclerc's up here. And then a host of other guys trying to manage their way through the first few turns. All right, so your defending champion, Hunter Root, leading early on in heat number 2. Let's see how he navigates through this first set of whoops. He's just going to jump onto the third one. Easy peasy. All right, so it looks like Leclerc's got the final transfer slot, and he's actually got quite a ways back to Zach Dupuis, who's in 5th. And you got Jesse Mullins right behind him. Looks like Dupuis is getting a little bit out of shape through the ending of those whoops there. Dupuis, ooh, cases that quad in the middle of the rhythm. You got Kellen Brower up here as well. Always like seeing my buddy Kellen up here. He took most of last year off. He came to me saying that he wanted to race this year, and I was all for it because I'm almost positive I won't be showing my face too often. So it's kind of like a reverse role here this year. You got Tyson Fresquez back here, Race Carlin, Dennis Fjellberg. He went down on the start straight, and he's all the way back here in what position? 13th. So it's a tall task to get up into the 4th, but you know Dennis is very, very capable of doing so. Gonna hop back up here to the lead. Hunter Root. Looks like he's got just about a section or so for a lead. Doesn't look like this track is phasing him one bit. Dominic Tipperino, otherwise known as Fro, sitting second.
Wow, your 40th fastest qualifier, Peter Leicht, running in a transfer spot right now. That's impressive.
Yeah, it looks like he just got passed by Leclerc. I don't know if Leclerc just passed him or if Peter just closed up on him a little bit.
You're going to have to really step it up, though, because he's got some fast guys behind him. Tyson Fresquez and Kellen Brower, former teammates. And Jesse Mullins also right in that group. And the fast guy names just keep on coming, one guy after another.
Ooh, Fresquez into the bales after that triple quad, so he's going to lose 2 spots to Kellen and
Leclerc
Jesse.
in the bales. Let's Light go by there side by side down the whoops. Over the triple. Leclerc.
Ooh, Tipperino just flat-landed the triple. Rides away cleanly, though. Looks like Leclerc may be closing in on Fro here for second.
Yeah, Tipperino got in the bales at the same time as well as Leclerc, and that allowed those 3 guys all to tighten up with Peter Leicht giving chase on the 49 split fire machine. Looks
like Root is just stretching this lead out more and more every time I go away from him. He's got about almost 2 sections. Very impressive.
Bro in the bales, gonna lose a spot to Leclerc.
Yeah, Leclerc quads out of that section as well. I think he quads in this section. I haven't really seen anybody do that.
Root's been doing it out front as well. It's barely faster, but it allows you to set up for that next corner kind of nicely without having to double in onto that sharp landing.
Right.
Look at the freight train for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place. Race Carlin has caught that group now too. Unfortunately, all these guys are about 10 seconds behind Peter Leicht, who has that final transfer spot.
I'd look at the names: Kellen Brower, Jesse Mullins, Tyson Fresquez, Race Carlin. That's a pretty fast group of guys there, that's for sure.
Came up short on the triple. Definitely the best action on the track
Tyson
right
messes up the rhythm, but Jesse's actually the one who falls off the bike along with Race Carlin. Oh no, Race actually didn't fall off the bike.
Somehow Mullins' bike caught Race, but Race looked like he was well over the top of it. Surprised that he got messed up from it.
Oh, looks like Tyson's having some issues on the over-under, going back down to start straight. Manages to get away with it without crashing.
Oh, Leicht with a mistake. Got out in the bales in your final transfer spot. He's back going without losing too much time, but he did definitely lose some time. He had a 10-second gap. It's down to 5.9 as the laps are definitely winding down there on lap 5 of 6. They have a lap and a half to go. Leicht looking to make it into the main as he goes down in the whoops. That's going to open the door for Kellen Brower, Team SYS TV.
Oh, as Kellen cases the triple, so that's actually going to give Tyson the spot, or close to. Looks like Peter gets going just before Tyson is able to get by him.
All right, last transfer battle. These guys are going to be taking the white flag.
I'm going to stay on this battle here. Oh, and Peter just barely makes it through that rhythm section.
He's straight airing the jumps, definitely nervous, you can tell. Tyson used to being in these pressure situations. Probably not phased much at all.
Oh, and Tyson, ooh, he cased that over-under, and I thought it was going to come back to bite him, but able to pull it off. All over the back of Peter right now. I know.
See if he's aggressive or if he just plays patient and he gets run into the back of him.
He tried playing it patient and it bites him. But Peter's teammate Race Carlin not too far behind, so Peter's still got to have a clean lap here.
Yeah, he struggled in the whoops last lap. Let's see what happens here.
Looks like he's just going to mosey his way on through, try to get through as clean as possible.
That's Leclerc right there. Leclerc gets taken down by a lapper.
So that's actually going to give Carlin this spot, as Peter's going to keep his spot as well. Carlin gets around his teammate Peter, though. Peter trying not to get together with that lapper. Looks like Peter's going to get through this rhythm section. And all right, so Peter Leicht is actually going to take the last transfer spot. Hunter Root winning the second 450 heat of the year. And then you got Dominic Tipperino in second. Race Carlin third, and your last transfer spot, Peter Like. So your 40th fastest qualifier, making it through the heat race. That just goes to show you that qualifying doesn't really mean too much. He beat about 30 other guys to get into that, qualifying time-wise at least.
Wow.
So
I'm gonna
Alexis,
actually be reviewing that demo real quick because Vanderlei was rolling the whoops and then all of a sudden cut across the track into Leclerc. He's already had 2 big bans from RF that maybe should have been permanent, and I would like to review that because I don't really think that he might be racing the rest of the night.
Maybe a little bit of drama already, and we just started. That was the second 450 heat. Anyways, so Peter Like in that last transfer spot, and then you got Alexis Leclerc just missing out. So he'll be going to the semis, along with Kellen Brower, Dennis Fjellberg. Dennis actually moved his way up all the way into 7th after going down on the start straight. And then you got Jesse Mullins, Jay Naz, Tyson Fresquez, Brandon Berg, Andre Santos. Zach Dupuis was up there early on. He's going to the semi. Holden Coe, Ian Luke Liani, Nick Uzik, Jack Roberts, Jordan Vanderlee, Craig Richards, Dago Adamo, all going to the semis now. We're going to change the pace up here just a little bit, though. We're going to let the 250 guys go at it in their heat races. Their format's going to be a little bit different than the 450s. They're just doing, I believe, just 2 heat races. Top 9 go. Yeah, so we're going to do 2 250 heat races. Top 9 transfer straight through to the 250 West main event. And then we're going to do... we're going to get the semis underway, and then we're going to go back to the 250 class and get their LCQ going. And then we're going to finish off the night show with the 450 LCQ, and then we're going to get to the main events. And I tabbed out of my game as soon as they restarted, so give me just a second as soon as I can load back in here. Alright, so I'm back into the server. Maybe. Please tell me I didn't time out. Looks like I may have timed out because... Alright, hold on just 1 second, guys. Sorry for this. Yeah, I did. Okay, so this is actually the 250 Heat 1. I didn't catch any of the first lap. I do apologize about that, guys. But you got Matt Cromie. He is known for his Supercross abilities. He's leading this first 250 Heat. And then you got Stefan Guido? I don't know. Ugh, I don't want to get that name wrong, and you guys are probably going to make fun of me for that one. John Rollins, I've been friends with John for quite some time. It's good to see him up here. Clay Alfrey's actually down, and he collects Taylor Bell. That's going to allow Logan McSweeney to get by into a better position, I should say. Austin Anderson gets around. Rush Chapman gets around. You got Jeremy Siebold. I know Siebold was playing around with the 450 on this track. He did back out of the 450s, excuse me, last minute to drop back down to the 250 West Coast. Oh, it looks like Rush Chapman and Taylor Bell are having some issues here. They were in transfer spots. It looks like Taylor's in the last transfer spot now. Blake Scheiman of FamMX, Craig Leak, Benny Landry, Clay Alfrey is way back here now. Brock Pappy, Russ Chapman still having some issues. Ryan Wilson, David Wright, Brock Pearson, and myself on the gate. Alright, so back up front, Matt Cromie still leads this thing. I'm going to say Guido, Stefan Guido. That's probably wrong, but oh well. As he's sitting second here. John Rollins still sitting third. Great to see him back and doing so well. He took a break after the Supercross campaign last year. And he said he was going to be done for good, but it's good to see him back here racing. Always good buddies with John Rollins there. Logan McSweeney's sitting in fourth. Seabolt fifth. Taylor Bell sixth. Ryan Burke is seventh. Craig Leak is eighth. And Blake Scheiman is actually going to lose the last transfer spot to Benny Landry for the time being. And Scheiman actually also loses a position to Bryce Whelan. So Scheiman actually drops back to 11th place. Ooh, and it looks like, who was that? Benny Landry and Bryce Whelan actually get together. So Scheiman's going to be in 9th again. So loses it, but gets it back just as quick. And it looks like Benny Landry is going to take the spot right back. So this last transfer spot, some good battles going on so far. They're about halfway done with the race. I don't want to sit up front here because Cromie's pretty much checked out. I want to watch some battles going on. Looks like Rollins is... Oh, as I say that, McSweeney goes down. So Seabolt's going to get around as well. Seabolt actually, I believe he earned the number 10 last year through the GNC, or the Grand National Championship. I believe he was a top 10 points scorer throughout the year, and I believe he took number 10 as his career number. Still able to run the 250 class though, so he opted to do so. Like I said earlier though, he was playing around with that 450. Looks like John's actually having some issues here. I'm just looking for battles right now, guys. Alright, so Clay Alfrey's actually in 9th, so he has the last transfer spot as of right now. Blake Scheiman's still right there, though, but it is the last lap, so... Let's see here. Cromie's getting through the first rhythm section right now. It looks like he's got about a half a lap left, so he'll be fine. Nothing really. I guess this is the closest battle right here is Logan McSweeney and John Rollins. Spencer, I am not actually allowed to race the 250 class anymore, so if I do race, I'll race the East Coast, but I'll be on a 450 instead of the 250. I actually do not meet the criteria to be able to race the 250 class anymore, so if I do race, I'll be racing in the 450 class as Matt Cromie finishes up this first 250 heat race for the 250 West class. And then Stefan Guido, I think I saw, say Guido. Okay, so Stefan Guido sitting in second. I've never heard of the guy, so he came out of nowhere, at least to me. And then you got Seabolt finishing third, and it looks like McSweeney's going to cross the line in 4th. John Rollins is going to cross the line in 5th. All right, there we go. John, first race back, and he's in the main. Taylor Bell is going to be finishing 6th. Benny Landry is, all right, Benny Landry finishing 7th, and then Clay Alfrey 8th. And your last transfer spot going to Craig Leake. All these guys are safe. They're in the main event. Blake Scheiman, Petsnick, Burke, Mulhall, David Wright, Brock Pappy, Ryan Wilson, Brock Pearson, Bryce Whelan, Rush Cham. It looks like these guys actually rage quit. Austin Anderson with a rage quit. So all those guys, they have to go straight to the 250 LCQ. They only got one more shot at it.
User joined your channel.
Hello.
Not like the 450 class. These guys go straight to the LCQ. No semis involved with the 250s.
I am back. Now the server's saying full. Awesome.
Yeah, you missed the entire 250 heat race.
I gotta go talk to Will.
User left your channel.
Alright, so it looks like everybody's finished up. Those who have rage quit. Looks like there were a few rage quitters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people rage quit that race. Don't know if they'll be back for the LCQ. Alright, looks like we're going to restart. We're going to jump straight into 250 heat number 2.
User joined your channel.
Alright, I'm back for real this time. Sorry, I was taking care of some business with Wheels. Had to handle a little banhammer duty down.
So that means that someone won't be racing the rest of the night at least.
That would be Jordan Vanderlee, who decided to take Leclerc out as a lapper for absolutely no reason. And he's had a couple really long bans with RF, so I don't expect we'll see him for a while.
Alright. Well, since you missed the first 250 heat, it was Matt Cromie taking the win. Oh, whoa. Alright, so these guys are already dropping the gate on me. I was loading
I saw
in
big
really,
number
really
one
quick.
in this one.
Yeah, and
Looks
I
like
don't have his
Wilcox
bike.
Gonna get out front.
Yeah, Wilcox. I believe.
Clement Lana, Hunter Deischer, Zach Prokop, Donovan, Caleb Stillman. These guys get through pretty clean.
Oh, someone's on the
Early
wrong side of the track right now. Looks like that was... Who was that? No idea who that was. Oh, it was No, it wasn't Jerry. It was Cameron
Jerry's
Hill.
race
There we go.
Not looking great right now. Or Cameron Hill was one of our top qualifiers. So not
Yeah,
looking
Dade
good for him
Honeywell
either.
is actually back here as well. So, defending 250 West Coast champion actually goes down with a rider. Actually not off the bike. This camera angle a little bit deceiving.
Clement Lana is now leading Team EMC. Thomas Wilcox settles into second. There's more action than a James Bond movie going on out here as we start lap number 2.
Alright, looks like these top guys are kind of settling down a little bit. I mean, there is a big train of them, but everything looks clean so far.
I see my buddy Midbeck in the chat. What's up, man? So Lana makes a mistake. Wilcox can't jump the triple. Connor Holiak now going to jump into the mix for the lead. We have a 3-rider battle as they go down the whoops. Holiak going to move into
It's
second.
going to be 4 riders, actually. Prokop's right there.
Prokop right in the mix as well. Over the triple, 4 of them in the air at the same time.
That's a really cool shot right there. Looks like these guys are navigating through this rhythm section fairly easy. As Thomas Wilcox leads them through lap number 2, heading onto lap number 3 as he jumps onto the start straight. A very unique design right there with that over-under going back onto the start straight.
For sure. Holyak is all over Wilcox right now.
Yeah, and Lana's right there as well.
These guys on 250s, those triple ends to get consistent, they are so challenging, and they're nailing
Oh, Holiak doesn't get the drive out of that corner, so it looks like Lana might make a move. No, he's he's gonna land on him actually. Holiak unaffected by that.
In the third, Hunter Deischer is still sitting up in the top 5 right now. Gustavo Diniz runs in 6th. Jerry Robin up into a transfer spot, so after being, I believe, dead last, he is into 7th. Cameron Hill also made his way into a transfer. Then Chase Donovan. But where's our number 1?
He is in 12th right now, and he's in the bales.
So Dade Honeywell, that number 1 pressure mounting. Wilcox, Pork Chop, Hunter Deischer, Clement Lana, Holyak's dropped to 5th, Jerry Robin up to 6th. Oh man, all kinds of mix-ups going on right now.
I feel like it's really, really hard to be consistently fast on this track, it being so technical, so...
Yeah, especially for these 250 riders. Looking pretty challenging. Whoa, Zach Prokop is into the lead. Wilcox trying to make a run on him down the whoop section.
Is he gonna... No.
Wow,
shows him a wheel. He shows him a wheel. I don't know if he was going for a takeout, but definitely letting Prokop know that he's there.
Somehow Deischer's rode his
Prokop
way
into the bales. He's still going though. It looks like Wilcox is actually going to get to the inside. Oh, and a nice square up from Prokop as they throw dualies over the finish.
Great battling going on here. Wilcox going to hold it tight. Good thing they both go inside as there's a lapper laying down on the over-under.
Keep in mind, guys, that this is just the second 250 heat, and we're already getting racing like this. So, a lot more racing like this ahead of us.
Kind of taking a look back in the field. Looks like Donovan right now running in the 9th spot. He's got a little bit of a gap over Devin Ryan, who's sitting the first spot out of qualifying.
Huh, that was pretty interesting. I'm still watching this battle for the lead, and Prokop was on the inside before that 90 degree turn before the first triple, and he checked up to hit the berm on the outside as Wilcox cut to the inside to miss the berm. And Prokop scrubbed the triple and gained a little bit of time on Wilcox. He lost it right back. He did mess up that last rhythm section before the finish. But that's a pretty interesting line.
See how that develops. So you think they're getting a little more drive out of the outside, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, trouble for Holyak. He's down before the finish, losing spots, but I don't think he's going to lose a transfer. Donovan's made his way into 7th, so that means Jerry Robin and Cameron Hill are at 8 and 9 right now, but Devin Ryan's getting close to them as well as Zoa Cross, so the battle for the last transfer definitely shaping up right now.
Looks like Dade might be going to the LCQ. He is pretty far back from a transfer right now.
Jerry Robin is magic manning all over the place right now. Going to land off the side of the over-under. Cameron Hill trying to make the move. Probably doesn't know where he's at half the time as Robin keeps disappearing.
So right now,
Devin Ryan going to have a run for this last transfer.
I'm keeping an eye on Cameron Hill here as he's sitting in 9th. That is the last transfer spot for this 250 class.
This is the last lap as the win. Going to the 136, Zach Prokop. Thomas Wilcox comes across in 2nd. Then we have Deischer, Holyak, Lana, Donovan.
Oh, it looks like Devin Ryan actually fell off the bike after the whoops. So Cameron Hill pretty much has this last transfer spot on lock as long as he keeps it on 2 wheels. But he's getting pretty close to falling off the bike in that last rhythm section. All right, so Cameron Hill takes the last transfer spot. As you were saying, though, yeah, Prokop with the victory here in 250 heat number 2. Thomas Wilcox sitting in 2nd. Hunter Deischer with a third, Holiak fourth, Lana fifth, Donovan sixth, Jerry Robin with a seventh, eighth goes to Gustavo Diniz, and Cameron Hill rounding out your transfers.
Wow.
Big storyline
So
is
the
the
number
number one right there with the sitting in 11th. He's going to the LCQ. This is your defending 250 West Coast champion, and he's going to the LCQ. So anything can happen here. He's going to the LCQ with Devin Ryan, Anthony Jefferson, Zoa Cross, Spencer Turley, Kyler Hockey, Zach Lerma, Jacob M., Caleb Stillman, Tyler Lewis, and Fernando Andrade. So that number one going to the LCQ.
Quite a bit of action in that one, and a lot of carnage. More carnage than the Titanic in that heat race. We're going to be lining up semifinals next, 450 class. There'll be 5 laps, top 5 to the main. As we're sitting here,
Waiting on Wheels to get the scripts right, I believe. Because like you said, we don't have any lineup checks, so we're just going straight into all the racing. All right, 450 semi number one got Burkeen, Brower, Stanley, Mullins, Wood, Nazarek, Haley, Santos, St. Laurent, Coate, Wilson, Uzik, Davis, Vanderlee, Strelo, and Adamo. Actually, we will be missing at least one of those guys, with Vanderlee not racing the rest of the night due to some rule breaking.
how about just being an idiot? We'll stand with that.
Yeah, that works. Yep, that works too. All right, so I'm loaded in. We're waiting for these guys to finish loading in as well. I said it earlier on, but I feel like the left side of this over-under is going to benefit a little bit more on the start just because they have that inside, and there's such a big gap. So someone on the inside's most likely going to get this whole shot. I'm going to go with Brady Stanley on this one.
Team Famamex Race Tech Rider looking good on the deuce. Lined up by Matt Burkeen right now.
It looks like he gets a pretty decent start. Zach Dupuis actually with a better start. He's going to push a little bit wide. It looks like
Dupuis. Haley.
Oh, that was close on who got the whole shot. It looks like Haley comes away with the lead, even if Dupuis did get that whole shot. But yeah, Haley in the lead right now with. Or wait, that was Mullins. Excuse me, sorry. I just thought that was Dupuis the entire time.
So Jack Haley leads. Mullins runs in second. Stanley in the bales, takes out Burkeen trying to get out of the bales. They're both going to get going. They're still in transfer spots. Somebody jumping over the top of them.
Everybody has to double that triple, and St. Laurent just goes straight into Andre Santos. Bit of a questionable line there, but what is Jesse Mullins? Okay, he was waiting for people to start jumping over him, or at least a clear or a go from his spotter.
Stanley, nice boner over the finish line for the 22. He's got his teammate Jack Haley right behind him. William St. Laurent, we saw him launch the triple over everybody, and he's up into third. Mullins drops to fourth, and Andre Santos runs in your final transfer. Right now, Devin Davis runs in sixth. He needs to get moving if he wants a transfer spot.
It's pretty crazy here. First through fifth, all in transfer spots, and they're right behind one another. And then there's a bit of a gap to Devin Davis. And you actually got Devin Davis, Nick Uzik, and Joseph Nazarek all on that Yamaloop Star Racing Yamaha team. Almost positive that I downloaded their skins, but I guess I didn't. So my
Ellen Brower
apologies.
runs 10th right now, by the way. Top 5 transfer. Heckman. My buddy Heckman, the top 5 transfer.
Oh, it looks like Burkeen, after he got together with Stanley on that first lap, he dropped way back here. A-Wood as well, he's way back here.
Oh, Davis has moved into 4th. Usyk into 5th temporarily. Janaz, his teammate, goes up the inside. Usyk hits the ground anyways on his own. So Santos has dropped out of a transfer spot, as well as William St. Laurent. Wow. All kinds of action yet again, battling for these final transfer spots into this main event. Stanley, Haley still lead 1 and 2. Mullins over the triple in the 3 spot. Into the whoops he goes. Devin Davis running 4th, running the lucky 13. And his teammate Janaz, Joseph Nazarek, runs in 5th. Santos trying to make a run on him. Let's keep an eye on this last transfer spot. As Santos on the EMC concept graph machine trying to get up into a spot. Over the finish goes Santos, the number 30, over the Dragon's back and into the sand. Doing everything he can to catch Janaz.
Janaz looking pretty smooth though, so do you think Santos has to rely on his speed or Nazarek's consistency?
At this point in the race, they still have a lap and a half to go. I would be trying to be smooth and consistent and hope for a mistake until, you know, the second half of that last lap, and then really just lay it down. He's in striking distance right now. Speaking of striking distance, look at the front of the pack. We have a freight train of 3 riders going for the lead. Stanley and Haley right on each other as the white flag is out. Stanley getting looser than the first grader's shoelaces over that Dragon's back, pulls it together and continues to lead this thing. But Haley all over him, and Mullins right there as well. Wow, some good racing going on. These guys really, really consistent and smooth. I'm pretty impressed. Oh, Santos with a little bit of a mistake. He's probably got to start charging at this point to try to put the pressure on. That
Absolutely.
mistake might not happen. Davis actually made a little mistake in the rhythm, allowing Janaz to close up on him just a bit. Santos is doing just that. He's closed in on the 2 teammates in front of him.
Brady Stanley actually just throwing it completely nasty over that second triple as he jumping
Santos
through
is
this.
down. Brower is down, so it looks like your top 5 are pretty much set.
Absolutely. All right, so Brady Stanley taking the victory here for the 450 semi number 1. Jesse Mullins actually getting 2nd, and then Jack Haley with a 3rd. Devin Davis finishing 4th, and your last transfer spot, Joseph Nazarek with a 5th. So these 5 guys all going to the main event. The rest of these guys, Andre Santos, Nick Usyk, Kellen Brower, William St. Laurent, Matt Burkeen, and Robert Wilson, and Andrew Wood, Holden Code, all those guys, they got one more shot. They're going to get funneled into the LCQ. That's going to be coming up in a little bit here.
Yeah, it's going to be stacked LCQ already. I mean, there's guys in here that if they got in out of the heat race, you wouldn't be surprised. And they're going all the way to that LCQ.
Absolutely.
We talked about it earlier. The pressure of getting in at A1 is so difficult because everyone puts so much time into the track on so many laps. They do more laps than the Daytona 500 practicing for this thing. And they get it real dialed in. Everyone's real hyped. Everyone shows up. So getting into those top 22 spots is so difficult. Huge weight lifted off the shoulders of the 5 guys that got in here out of this heat. We're waiting for cuts to come in, but I mean, there was a 20-second gap between 5th and 6th. So don't think they're going to play much of a factor.
Look at 1st through 3rd. First through third finished about 2 seconds apart. So if you're running up front and you can run smooth, consistent laps, I mean, it looks like if there's no traffic, it's pretty easy to run pretty consistently.
I mean, honestly, if these three front runners got the top three in the main event podium, no one would really be shocked.
No.
And that's how stacked the field is. And I mean, we've obviously already taken 16 riders out of this field or 8 riders, sorry, out of the field before these guys. So we're lined up for heat number 2.
Semi number
2, top 5 laps. Geez, I'm not even drinking tonight. We'll see Leclerc coming up after kind of getting screwed in that heat race. I'm sure he'll be headbanging through the whoops like he's at a rock concert. Mr. Bobblehead himself runs one of the loosest setups in the game.
Actually
I don't
gets
know about
some
you,
flack for running such a loose setup.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Leclerc back racing with us. He makes for a great race to watch.
As much as I may not like him personally, he is very fast and he can mix things up there at the front. So looks like we're about to drop the gate here for semi number 2.
Speaking of Leclerc, he's got a good start. Haskell with a good one up the inside as well.
Oh, and Haskell actually goes down with pretty much more than half the field. So
Leclerc leads. Dupuis sits in second. A couple of outdoor champions running in the 1 and 2 spot, I believe. Leclerc won an outdoor title. I could be
he did.
completely
He
wrong.
did he win 2000? I think he won 2014. I think he won 2014.
I believe he did. Dupuis just making kind of his return to the game. He's been here kind of, but he's been taking some time off and moved to Arizona and now back racing with us. And,
and Leclerc, there's the whoops.
There's that bobblehead. Ian Lugliani
His
runs into the
kryptonite.
second spot now. Giabro third. Leclerc going to get a little bit of a break. He's going to be right by a transfer spot as Craig Richards jumps by. Jack Roberts in the final transfer, but he's got Leclerc looking inside on him.
And no, Roberts is actually going to
shut
brake
the
check
door.
him.
Risky move by Roberts, so he could have taken them both down.
Oh!
Richards is down. Takes
Roberts
out
goes
Roberts. That allows Frescas and Reed Young to go by.
Looks like Frescas has the inside here, and Reed Young's going to jump off the side of the over-under and tip over.
Remember running up front early in that heat race? Toby Stocks, he's up into the 6th spot, so he was up front early in the heat trying to get in at this time out of the semifinal round.
Looks like
Number
Toby
78.
figured out the naming convention.
Yeah, he was actually really cool about it after the heat, so I'm pumped that I didn't kick him or anything like that. Just connecting to the server to watch the 68 of Reed Young is Nathan Zworski, so Reed Young probably has a little bit of Nate Guy momentum going with him right now. Long time number 68 in the game, lost it last year or this season. Out front, Dupuis is leading this thing. Lugliani second, Schiavro all over him in third. There's Leclerc in 4th and Frescas 5th. So Leclerc and Frescas barely in transfer spots right now. With any mistake, and they might be in that LCQ as well.
And both of them kind of got screwed over from not transferring through the heat. Obviously, Leclerc with his situation, and then Tyson, he tried playing it cool and waiting patiently for Peter to mess up or something, and it came back and bit him as he got into the back of him in one of the 180s.
Leclerc's down.
Yeah, Leclerc is down.
Fresca's going to go by, and here comes Toby Stocks.
Stocks going to get around as well, and
look at that lag bubble.
Yeah,
take Leclerc back to the ground.
So
Things
Leclerc's
just
got
not
Roberts.
going right for
Oh,
Leclerc
boy.
right now as the 68 of Reed Young and Jack Roberts both get into him. Nothing he could do there. He just got sandwiched by guys. So Leclerc, after getting nailed hard in a carpenter on steroids in the heat race, is really having a hard time making it into this main event. His luck not on his side.
Ooh,
right
and Schiavro actually gets together with Ian Lugliani before the finish. Not going to decide a transfer spot just yet. But Lugliani does lose a spot.
Keeping an eye on the 6th spot now. First guy out of the transfer is Brandon Berg, one of our top qualifiers. He was up in that top 10 qualifying, and he's not in a transfer at the moment. Got some work to do to try to run down Toby Stocks.
Getting through that sand section, very, very sketchy.
Checking on the lap times here, Dupuis just being consistent out front, running 105s thus far, riding for Team SYS this year. The number 6 after winning his outdoor national championship a couple years back. Gabriel making the jump to the 450 class for the year. MCD Honda rider running in second. He's in the 106, 107 range. These guys just trying to probably be pretty consistent. Gabriel drops her to a 105 that lap around, throwing her dirty over the finish line.
So I just scrolled through the race lineup, and if I'm not mistaken, there's 7 championships racing right now.
Unbelievable. And a lot of guys not going to the
3 of which are actually transferring right now.
Unbelievable. Looks like Fresca and Lugliani have a little bit of a battle going on in the 3rd and 4th spot. Lugliani comes up a little bit short. Doc's holding down that last transfer. Looks like Berg's making a run on him. These guys are both in the 104s. They might be the fastest 2 guys on the track right now. Leclerc has a 102 lap time logged in this race, but he's in 7th. You have to really make a push for it on this last lap and hope for some luck to make it happen. Coming around, looks like Schiavaro actually going to take the win of the semi as he comes into the last turn.
Where? Oh, Zach's all the way in 3rd. So
Schiavaro
yeah,
takes the win. Fresquez gets all the way to 2nd. Dupuis going to get across in 3rd into the main. Lugliani, nice ride for the number 86.
and Toby Stocks launching the finish.
Done.
All right, so these 5 guys.
Leclerc going to the LCQ. That's not an LCQ I'd want to be in. Dominic Saulnier. Dennis Fjellberg running the number 3 is going to the LCQ. Andrew O'Hagan, Jack Roberts, Reed Young, Brian Haskell, Ellie, the Lawnmower Man, Tony Spinelli, Tyler Morin, Craig Richards with the Rage Quit. They're all going to that last chance qualifier. Holy crap, we're going to have some racing going on. Hey, guess what, Henner?
What's up?
My favorite time of the night.
Yeah.
It's LCQ time. We got 250 LCQ coming up. 4 laps, 4 riders to the main at A1. Oh, man. It's going to be awesome.
I'm not going to disagree with that statement.
I'm guessing it's going to get dirtier than your ex-girlfriend's vagina out there for that last transfer spot. I'm excited. I always love the action of the LCQs. You never know what's going to happen. And in 4 laps,
A lot
anything can happen.
Yeah, a lot can happen. So,
And it happens fast. So, not the place that you want to be in the LCQ. That is for sure. Could be a lot of upset riders after that. And it looks like 250 Supercross West LCQ is restarting right now. They're on the gate.
here we go.
4 laps, 4 riders. This is it.
All right.
This can kill your championship hopes right here. 4 laps.
So
if you don't
Devin
make this
Ryan,
main event.
Anthony Jefferson, Spencer Turley, Zach Lerma, Brock Pearson, Fernando Andrade, Kyler Hockey, Caleb Stillman, Brock Pappy, Rush Chapman, Liam Mulhall, Ryan Burke, Tyler Lewis, Dade Honeywell, Justin Petznick, Ryan Wilson, Blake Scheiman, David Wright, Bryce Whelan, Jacob M, Zoa Cross, all in the LCQ here.
That's right. Number 1 in the LCQ of the 250. Oh, boy.
I'm going to stay on
get it
board
done.
with Devin Ryan here. It looks like he just waits off the start along with the number 1, Dade. And Dade actually gets together with someone who was on the outside of the track.
Justin
outside of the
Petsney
bales, I should say.
with the whole shot. Zoa Cross runs in second. Bryce Wheeling gets through as well as Spencer Turley. Those are your 4 guys, and it looks like one of them's already in the ground. That's
going to give
Petsney,
Tyler
who's leading.
That's going to give Tyler Lewis the spot right now. The number 1 plate is bare.